Hi everyone, my name's Kayla, writer, editor, many other things, and I'm here today with
Falilou, fashion model, actor, based in New York by the way of Paris, France.
and we're in New York City, and we're going to talk a little bit about his recent article in GC Magazine number 5.
So exciting.
What was your first reaction when you saw it?
That was actually crazy, I won't lie. I was really surprised by to be honest, the first line was already surprising. It was, what was it again? Something with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I think it was something about being inspired by his legacy and kind of using that to propel your own.
And that was beautiful. You know how much I love Muhammad Ali.
I do.
So seeing that being the first line made me so happy. Plus the choice of pictures and everything else. Yeah, definitely killed it.
And you said you've already done an interview and it didn't go well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, that's what I was saying. I'm scared of interviews now because, so you know how it is with print sometimes. You know, depending on who you're talking to, sometimes they can, I would say, interpret your what you're saying in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me. And since then, I told myself that I wouldn't do print no more. But here we are, GC Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I killed it.
Yeah, you're not the only person that's told me that before, and I've worked on really sensitive topics, and so it's important to be able to capture people authentically in their words. I'm curious to know, this story covers a lot, from traveling from France to being part of the Warner program. Tell us about being a Warner Fellow and how that kind of guided your career.
So I would say being a Warner Fellow was probably one of the most special experiences in my life. It was a life-changing experience. So being there, being surrounded by so many creatives, so many like-minded people, and having people like Professor Young, Jasmine Young, people like Lenny S, and so many other amazing people as mentors was just something that you can't, I would say money can't buy.
Yeah.
So, and I also always say that I'm where I'm at right now, also thanks to Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Warner made me understand what it was to, I would say, operate on a high level of excellence on a daily basis. It made me understand professionalism, but it also made me understand that there's a way to merge my creative work and my corporate work.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you were determined to go to Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk about when you first found out what Howard was?
So that's actually a very funny experience because I was in high school in France, and I always talk about that, that story, and people are always like amazed because it's just so, I would say, out of this world.
Yeah.
I was just in a random math class on a Wednesday, and I hate math. If you know me, you know that I hate maths. So the professor was talking, me, I was bored. I was just there on my laptop on YouTube. And just by being on YouTube scrolling, I stumbled upon Chadwick Boseman's commencement speech at Howard University. And at that time, I didn't know anything about Howard, didn't know anything about HBCUs. I knew Chadwick Boseman because I watched Black Panther. So I just clicked on it and started watching the video. And from there, it was just crazy because I heard this, I would say, black man who was talking about this black university. And he was talking about this institution he was, I would say he was a part of.
Yeah.
And an institution that changed his life, an institution that allowed him to be who he was supposed to be, an institution that uplifted him and put him in a position to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So me coming from a background where I would say in France, being black and Muslim, I was part of 2 minority communities.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up facing a lot of discriminations. And I wasn't used to seeing, I would say, people like me in that position, especially because of the lack of, I would say, representation. You don't see a lot of people like us at that level. So from there, I was just like, you know what? I want to go to Howard. I need to make sure to go to Howard. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'll go to Howard. So from there, I just reached out to Chadwick Boseman. I was very innocent at that time. I messaged him on Instagram. Of course, he didn't answer. But surprisingly, his wife answered. So Miss Simone, his wife, answered. And I was very surprised. I didn't even know her. She just sent me a message. She was like, yo, I saw your message and I just wanted to tell you that we're supporting you. And she told me about how Howard changed Chadwick's life in so many different ways. And she basically just motivated me to chase my dreams and go for it. And from there, I was like, oh, hell no. If I'm able to get this, if I'm able to talk to someone like this,
yeah,
that means I can do everything. So from there, I just like I would say, tried to apply to Howard. At first, I wasn't able to get in because of COVID and everything. So I had to go to another community college. I stayed there and got my associate. And as soon as I finished with that, Howard University. So yeah, that's my story. That's how I got into Howard.
I love. What was you mentioned there was a moment when you were watching his speech that stood out to you with one of your idols. Can you talk about that moment?
Yeah, so in his speech, Chadwick Boseman talked about the day he met Muhammad Ali on the yard. And Muhammad Ali has been my biggest, I would say a role model for me since I was young. Being black and Muslim, he was probably the only person I could have, I would say, look up to. And I would say being also a sports enthusiast and everything, it just made me love him even more. So him talking about Muhammad Ali on the speech just was so crazy for me because I was like, what? Like Muhammad Ali? And you met Muhammad Ali on the yard?
Yeah.
So he was talking about how he was just walking and he saw this tall black guy in front of him. And he was describing the experience as something very kind of, I would say, mystical, right? He was walking towards him, he was looking at him. And when he got right in front of him, he shook his hand and he described that handshake as like a passing of like torch or something like that. So him kind of giving him the responsibility to be the next role model, right? The next example for the community. So he always described that experience as a life-changing experience. Plus on top of that, when you had all of the, like for example, the fact that, you know, Denzel Washington paid his tuition while he was there. Plus other things like Felicia Rashad was, you know, his teacher and like so many other things like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hell nah, I need to be there. Like I need to go there. So yeah.
And your modeling career really started picking up once you got to the States because tell us a little bit about how you first got introduced to modeling and then where it kind of really started taking off.
Yeah. So modeling for me started while I was in high school. So I had this English teacher at that time who used to tell me all the time, you should try modeling. You have the model physique. At that time I was very like skinny, tall, you know, everything they were looking for at that time. So she told me about it, but me, I didn't know anything about modeling. So of course I was like, you know, yeah, okay. But I never really paid attention to it. Until one day she called me, she said, Falilou, I wanted to introduce you to one of my friends. She used to be a big top model, like, you know, in the 80s, and you should talk to her and see what she would tell you. I'm like, you know what? Okay, I don't have anything to lose. Try to talk to her. And she told me the same thing. You should try modeling, this and that. And from there, she guided me. She told me what to do. I took some, I would say, digitals, built a small portfolio. Then she submitted it to agencies in France. And from there, it went crazy because I had all of the big agencies in France reaching out and trying to sign me. Because also one thing about I would say, modeling is like they love new faces.
Yeah.
They really love new faces. And so yeah, all of those big agencies reaching out, trying to sign me. And even, I would say, before signing, I also had Mercedes who reached out for me to be a part of their commercial. And it was like a crazy amount of money. Like like the type of money I've never seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, okay, maybe I want to be a model actually, you know? I might want to try this. So from there, I talked to my parents. And at first, my mom was like, no, I don't want you to be a model because I was raised in a very, I would say, traditional family, religious family. And we all know how it is in the, I would say, entertainment business.
Yeah.
The fashion, you know, the fashion industry. There's a lot of negative aspects of it.
Totally.
So from there, me was like, well, no. But when I told her about the money Mercedes was offering, she was like, oh, maybe you should try actually. Maybe you should actually try. Right. So that was very funny. And then I told my dad too. My dad at first, it was very funny because his reaction at first was like, he was just laughing, acting like, you know, he didn't really care or that, you know, I wasn't serious. But a couple of days later, he noticed that I was really serious and I was about to sign. So he put me aside just telling me that, you know, like, you're old enough now. I'm not going to tell you what to do or anything like that, but you know what I want for you. I want you to be, you know, a great man. I want you to focus on school, focus on, you know, your faith and all that. I don't want you to be a model. And so from there, I just felt bad and all that. I'm like, nah. So my dad told me this and I'm still at my parents' house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and I didn't even care enough
Yeah.
to do it. So from there, I didn't even try doing it. Fast forward, I came to the US a couple years later, and from there, I came here right during COVID, right? And same thing, people started asking me again, are you a model? Are you a model? Are you a model? I was like, no, like I'm not a model. So some people just asked me to try. And one day I met this one photographer whose name is Moy. And Moy at that time, he's the first one who really that was my first ever photo shoot. So I tried it, and because he was so cool, he just made me kind of fall in love with it. I loved it. So from there I started one photo shoot, another one, a third one, a fourth one. And also because I was very curious, very early in my career, I started also trying to learn everything about, the industry, what it's like being behind the camera, what it's like being in front of the camera. And from there, I just started directing, right? So I started directing my own projects, producing my own projects. And so that's when I would say my modeling career kind of started, slowly taking off. From there, I got my first magazine cover very early in my career. Second magazine cover, so I got 2 magazine covers the same month. And from there, after that, one brand, then another brand, a third brand. But I would say the brand that really helped kind of launch my career was Falilou. Falilou is a South African brand that's based in the US, and they just killed it. It was my first time working for a brand and seeing my face everywhere.
Yeah.
You open YouTube, Instagram, and everything, there were ads everywhere. So that one really helped me, I would say, get a lot of new clients. And from there, yeah.
Here we are
That's
now.
the story. Yeah, here we are.
In your recent IMBD profile as well. How do you feel kind of switching into your acting lane, and what was that like?
Kayla, that feels so surreal. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I posted a video a couple weeks ago of me checking my laptop every 10 seconds to see if my IMDb page is still there. And it feels so surreal. That's the type of stuff I can't believe. Especially you see the same way modeling started for me. That's exactly what's happening with acting.
Yeah.
People telling me all the time, you should try this and that. Acting is the next step after modeling. I'm I don't know anything about modeling. I don't know anything about acting. I didn't go to acting school or anything like that. Then from there, you just get one opportunity, another one, a third one, and all of a sudden you're an actor.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. So I have an IMDb.
Check them out.
I have an IMDb. So now we just got to make sure that page is nice and stacked.
Yeah, and it's funny because we did our first interview last summer, or maybe last fall, and you mentioned acting very briefly. So it's amazing to see those small moments come into fruition and turn into something bigger. So I'm super stoked for you.
I feel like every time that we see each other, there's something, major, big happening.
For sure, because at that time, Vogue.
The last interview, that was the day I got the Vogue feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
So that's amazing.
What's kind of your vision for yourself in the future?
Short term or long term?
Long term.
Long term? So long term, I see myself as I would say, probably the best in the business. On the corporate side, but also on the creative side.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be an entertainer. I consider myself as an entertainer. So if it's acting, I want to be, one of the best actors. If it's modeling, I want to be considered one of the best models too. But also on the executive side, like I said, that's very important for me. I want to develop my company and make it something, I would say a pillar of the industry, and help a lot of people that look like me get to the same level the levels they're aspiring to be at. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. You're just going to tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, gotcha.
Favorite spot to eat in New York?
Favorite spot to eat in New York? I would say Kirkumba in Harlem. So it's a Senegalese restaurant. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite childhood movie?
Favorite childhood movie, it was Ali. Will Smith.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's a quote that you resonate with?
So the quote I really resonate with is probably mine. I don't even call it a quote. It's my motto, the culture of excellence. So he's always, I would say, aspiring for greatness, breaking boundaries, and making sure to set, unprecedented results. That's not really a quote, but that's my motto.
All right, your album of the year thus far?
Album of the year thus far, I would probably say there are a lot of amazing albums this year. Let me see.
This isn't very rapid fire.
This is a very rapid fire. That's true. You know what? Kanye's album, Vulture.
Okay.
No, Vulture, Bully. Sorry.
Red flag. What's your go-to accessory? If you could just pick one.
My go-to accessory. If you know me, you know that I always have something on my head. So a hat, a bottle, something like I just can't go out without something on my head. I just love hats.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fashion brand?
My favorite fashion brand is probably high fashion or.
What's something that's your go-to?
I'm an ASOS guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm an ASOS guy.
That's
Boohoo
solid.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those are my questions.
Thank you so much, Kayla.
Beautiful.